Halo is not an esport anymore. Halo is not a good spectator sport anymore. With all the recent Halo Master Chief Collection hype, there's been more excitement about Halo's competitive future than ever before, but the Halo competitive scene is sorely outdated and needs some improvements. The most obvious contributing factor to this is the fact that no professional gaming circuit has a Halo division, and hasn't for a few years. In the years since Halo's departure from the scene, esports has grown exponentially into an enormous global phenomenon that millions of viewers enjoy on a daily basis. Take a look at League of Legends. I don't care if you hate the game or think that it's dumb, you simply cannot ignore the massive success that it's had in terms of esports. The game's developer, Riot Games, has created and supported the largest professional gaming scene ever, producing weekly tournament streams that hundreds of thousands of people view every time they go online. Their production quality is on par with ESPN in terms of casting, analysis, and viewer immersion. Riot Games treats their streams like a sports television broadcast, and that's why they've had incredible success in growing their competitive scene. Now, I know some of you Halo fans will say, MLG just needs to pick up Halo again and we'll be back. I don't think that's the answer. Let's look at how MLG is doing. If you pull up their website and click on Events, you'll see that they currently support Call of Duty Ghosts, and that's it? I know they've done tournaments for StarCraft 2, Super Smash Bros. Melee, League of Legends, and other various fighting games, but they haven't been putting up sufficient numbers in terms of viewership or prize pools to motivate players to compete or view their stuff. Is there another circuit that supports Call of Duty as a competitive esport? I can't seem to find one. So let's be real. Is the only reason why COD is successful at MLG because MLG is the only place to find competitive Call of Duty teams competing? MLG is not the answer to Halo's esports needs right now. I know Halo is a huge reason why MLG became so successful, but MLG doesn't even have League of Legends tournaments anymore. League is literally the largest competitive game on the planet. I don't know if it was MLG's or Riot's decision to take League off the MLG circuit, but either way, by removing the largest competitive game from the MLG scene, you are simultaneously removing hundreds of thousands of fans from MLG brand exposure. There needs to be a competitive gaming circuit that has massive success recently pick up Halo as a consistent tournament game. I was really excited to hear that ESL would be hosting a tournament for the Halo 2 anniversary at PAX this year. ESL is the largest international competitive gaming circuit, hosting League of Legends, StarCraft 2, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike Go tournaments with huge prize pools. The fact that ESL understands the hype behind Halo 2 anniversary and gave us a tournament this early is good news for the Halo esports scene. But I'll be honest, after watching a few games of the PAX Prime Showdown, I got bored of the format. The all-out play-by-play commentary and only a single first-person perspective of the game is too one-dimensional and does not promote viewer immersion. My main issue is with the casting. There's no color commentary. The fact that both the casters are play-by-play, or shoutcasters, prevents in-depth analysis of player choices and map setups during the game. Halo is much more than a single player's view of the game. For example, when Strongside or Pistola are playing the game, they're aware of their teammates' positions on the map without having to look at them, because they can communicate with their teammates. Viewers can't get that type of immersion because they can only see what's on the screen. Viewing competitive Halo turns into live gameplay commentary with a few montage moments here and there. By only being able to see one player's perspective, viewers don't get an understanding of how pros move around the map and execute map setups against the enemy team. If there was a way to occasionally take a third-person look at the game in progress, then there would be more room for analysis of the game, more viewer immersion. There needs to be more explanation of why pros are doing what they're doing, and less discussion about the play that just happened. If you respond to this by saying, but what if a super sick play happens and we miss it because we're not in first person? Well, that's why you have producers behind the scene looking for these kinds of plays and can show you replays later on in the stream if you missed that sick play. BBK Dragoon said it best on Twitter the other day. I love Halo, but we are about a decade behind in terms of specs, ranks, and competitive broadcast assets. I don't necessarily think we're an entire decade behind, but competitive Halo has become a nostalgic fantasy. The hype is there, but competitive Halo just doesn't have the tools in which to grow as an esports in today's scene. Competitive Halo is outdated and needs to be improved. I don't see Halo 2 Anniversary launching Halo back into the esports scene. It's all on Halo 5 Guardian's shoulders. If 343 can somehow provide Halo fans with the tools to properly set up, broadcast, and cultivate a more refined esports scene that keeps up with today's standards, then maybe we'd see Halo become another competitive giant. But until then, solid multiplayer gameplay is simply not enough to allow Halo to grow in today's esports community.